is a show that focuses on the person behind the brony. I'm your host, Osaka Jack. Please sit back and relax as we talk to this week's guest brony. Hello, everyone. This is Into the Spotlight with Osaka Jack. With me today, I have someone who is far closer to the most wonderful place on Earth than you are. Kryptonlogic. Hello.
Hi there.
I'm sorry. Kryptonlogic. Krypton. Not Marlon Brando's pronunciation. Not Krypton.
You got it.
Krypton. I apologize.
That's cool.
Well, I have to ask right off, you hinted at me that there is a reason behind your name, screen name, and I would love to know it.
Yeah, so...
Kryptonlogic.
It is. So, nothing to do with Superman.
Shame, and I know you're a Marvel guy, but I'm going to say a shame. Okay, anyway, moving on.
Well, a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago, I was working on a website network with a buddy of mine, and he already owned the name Kryptonlogic.
Okay.
And if you see where I'm going with this is based on the periodic table of elements.
Inert gases, right.
Right. And so we were going to buy all the domains out and start sort of a network. One would be a photography site, one would be a gaming site, but uniquely, names.
Right.
And so the first domain I ever bought was Kryptonlogic. And I started using that name. I was like, okay, cool. Unfortunately, things did not work out with this person. And project never exploded. It never went anywhere. In fact, it went the complete opposite and went down, the dumps, the garbage dump, because...
Just real fast, I have to say, if you chose the noble gases expecting an explosive results, you needed to go back to chemistry. I'm sorry, I had to mention that joke, and I'm finished with it now. Okay, sorry.
You're not the first to say that. Okay. So it didn't go anywhere. That person still owns Kryptonlogic. I don't know what it is anymore, but I kept Kryptonlogic, and it sort of name stuck with me because I'm really bad coming up with names to begin with.
Sure.
And so I was like, I'm just gonna use this. People were like, and then it sort of stuck to me, like, that's me. Like, you can search Kryptonlogic on Google, except for Google telling you that you misspelled the word kryptonite. It's all me. So, you can look me up. So it's really cool. So that's sort of how the name stuck, and I just kept using it, and people like it. And it sounds smart. The word logic is in it.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of cool.
I have to admit that my original idea would be, so he's got some incredibly great reason for supporting putting a baby in a rocket. Okay. All right. Well, it's the Kryptonlogic. You put babies in rockets, you send them off, and one of them's going to do well.
Sure. Sure. We'll go with that.
Yeah, why not? It
Wink.
works. It flows.
No.
Okay. Well, I briefly hinted at it, but yes, you are quite close, and apparently soon to be even closer to the Magic Kingdom. Oh wait, not Magic Kingdom.
No, you're right.
Yeah, Magic Kingdom.
Walt Disney World. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I live. I'm down in South Florida, and I visit. Disney is a huge passion for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it has been, and forever.
Nice.
Disney keeps track of how many times you've visited the park.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so, my last count, which was last weekend, was at 163.
Okay. All right.
So, clearly, it's more than just liking the parks. It's an obsession.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that. My argument has always been there are far worse things I could like. And
True.
Funny enough, that sort of falls into this fandom, too.
Yeah.
When you think about it. There's far worse things that I can like than Disney and ponies, guys.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Yes.
So, I'm up there, a couple of times a month, maybe once or twice a month. I'll be up there again next weekend. So I travel a lot. It's a 3-hour drive, so it's not too bad. And yeah, like you said, I'm looking to move up there and be near the big mouse and, cut my gas time and my gas money.
Right.
Because it's not cheap. I drive a truck, so it's also not in any way, shape, or form cheap.
Right.
But yeah.
I am surprised that there aren't Disney buses.
Well, so they were going to build a train.
Okay.
They were going to build a speed train, a bullet train from Miami up to Orlando to Tampa and all throughout.
Nice.
And it made it as far as, preparing to build, and even Disney had agreed, we'll build a station inside our property.
Uh-huh.
So in reality, I could have gotten from Miami to Orlando in 45 minutes.
Nice.
I could just imagine, going any day of the week when I'm off work or in the weekend and just spend the day there and come back down.
Right.
Unfortunately, that never passed because it costs money, and
Yeah.
God forbid we don't spend money in the state of Florida or anywhere. So,
well, and I have mentioned it before. Bullet trains. I am so nervous at the idea of America getting bullet trains.
how come?
Well,
I can imagine why.
well, okay, in Japan, there has never, knock on wood, there has never been a bullet train accident.
Mhm.
The closest that ever came to an accident was in 2003, 2004. There was a massive earthquake in Niigata, and the bullet train operator felt the P wave of the quake and hit the emergency brakes.
Mhm.
And then the massive quake hit, and it actually rocked the train off of the tracks.
Oh wow.
It didn't turn over completely. It just kind of fell off the tracks and slid. So it was at a 45-degree angle.
Mm-hmm.
But because he had hit the emergency brakes and the bullet train was at a complete stop, the train didn't jump the tracks and didn't send, it wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. It was just bad.
Yeah.
That's the largest accident that has ever happened in the bullet train system since it started in the 60s.
That's great.
Which is phenomenal.
Absolutely.
But
Think
at the
about
same-
every other form of transportation. You cannot say that.
I know. But at the same time, I have seen the amount of effort that is required into maintaining that safety.
Mhm.
Every single station that the bullet train comes to, before the train arrives, there will be a station staff who will walk onto the platform, do a visual check of the rails, specifically point to every single green light to make sure that they are all lit.
Yeah.
Announce on his radio that the station is safe. Then the train arrives. He'll make sure that it stops at the correct place. The train driver will put out his head, make sure that it's stopped, turn on the brake. The person in the very back of the train will make sure that it's stopped, put on his brake. Doors will open. People will get off. People will get on. They'll close the doors. All three, the driver, the secondary driver, and the station staff will point to each door to make sure that it's closed, point to the green light again. Back person takes off his brake. Front person takes off his brake. The train goes again. And every single time on the entire trip, anytime there's a speed change or a curve, the driver has to specifically point at it and point at his schedule and point at the time to make sure they all line up.
That's crazy.
All
They
day,
would definitely
every
not do
day,
that here.
every single route. Trying to be as least offensive as I can you imagine how long American staff would do that before they get lazy with it?
Well, when I was going to say something and you said no offense at all, and I live in this country, but point blank, it's not, no. They'll do it for the first minute and then be like, yeah, we're not doing this. Yeah, I don't even give them that long.
Okay. Yeah. I love my home country very much, but just the idea of a bullet train scares me because I know that level of safety would not be done.
Correct. Yeah, and that's probably why. I mean, I'm sure, budget aside, there are many. Safety is always the biggest concern, and
yep.
I'm sure they've gone and thought about it, and I'm sure it's crossed their mind.
We can hope.
I
hope that a rail system comes up, but I just hope that the safety will be higher priority than getting it done. Yeah,
taking a regular train right now is not, it'll take me 9 hours to get there. I can drive faster. Wow. So, it's just obviously not, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my hometown, St. Louis, we have 1 million people. We don't have an international airport, and we have a single train station now.
Mm-hmm.
1 million people, a train station.
One train station. That's crazy.
And a single subway line. So, yeah,
that doesn't work.
My city is very big onto driving your car yourself.
Yep, right? So much for public transportation.
Yeah. But, yeah, I think okay, I can see it now. We'll start up a Kickstarter and get, a Disney Link. will link Disney World to California Disneyland, to Tokyo Disneyland, to Hong Kong Disneyland, to Euro Disneyland, and back to Disney World.
Yeah. Oh, in Shanghai. Opening 2016.
Uh-huh. Yes, that's right.
But yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, like, listen, I've been trying to push, like, not me personally, but I've been hoping that the Disney company would develop some sort of worldwide annual pass.
Oh.
You know, the closest thing we got was to a Premier Pass, which will give you access to Disneyland Resort and Walt Disney World.
Okay.
Mind you, that's already $1,200.
Yeah.
And I imagine, oh yeah, if they linked all the parks around the world, that would be like a $5,000 ticket. And I just, no. Plus there's always, issues with Tokyo that would not allow that to happen.
Yeah, that's true. For anybody who doesn't know, Tokyo Disneyland is not owned fully by Disney.
Nope, it is not. That's why they have all the money in the world.
It's a double-edged sword. I mean, they don't, if times are getting bad, they don't have Disney's full support.
Right.
But at the same time, they have freedom to do things like, hey, this character who's a white cat in the Aristocats that nobody remembers, we're going to make her a huge star in Tokyo.
Yeah, pretty much. And you're like, well, why can't we have it? Oh yeah, because no one in the United States knows who that character is.
Yep.
So that's why we can't have nice things.
The irony is that as popular as she is over here, almost everybody who likes her has no idea what movie she's in.
I believe it. I completely believe it. Because I've seen, I've seen Tokyo's new 30th anniversary parade that they have currently going on. I've seen, videos of it. And yeah, you have the Aristocats float. And it's like, I wonder how many of these people think that's Aristocats or just some random Japanese character that's a cat.
No, I think they recognize it's a Disney character and it's cute and I like her, but they have no idea what it's from.
Yeah, who is she and where is she from? Oh, this must be something new from Pixar. No, get out of here. We're done with you.
I would compare it to how a lot of Americans are with awesome anime characters. Like, oh man, this is such an awesome character. Look at them. Do you know where they're from? No!
I'm guilty. I'm not a big anime, I like anime, but I'm not, I have friends who are much larger fans of anime.
Sure.
And they've tried to get me into it so much, and you like My Little Pony, there should be no reason why you can't watch this. I'm like, okay, I'll try it. I had a friend of mine try to get me into Persona.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it, but it's just so weird.
Yeah.
And I just could not, I'm like, well, first of all, the theme song's 8.5 minutes long. Once you get past that, you're like, what is going on? Yeah. It's in English. It's a dubbed version. So I understand what's going on, but I just don't know what's going on. And so I watched 5 episodes. I'm like, Alex, I don't know what I'm watching. I get it. I know who the characters are, but what is going on in the show? Yeah. You don't get it? It's like, no. Oh. He's like, well, at least I tried. I'm like, you tried. I mean, I don't hate it. I just don't know what's going on. If someone explained it to me, maybe I'd get it.
Yeah. I can see that.
And I don't know who the characters are.
I like some animes, but honestly, I don't watch it very much. Just because the animes that are on prime time are usually the ones that are designed to make movies out of eventually.
Sure.
The ones that are on the weekend are designed to make toys. And the ones that are on at 1:30 or 2:30 in the morning are the really good ones that are designed to make DVDs, but they're on at 1:30 or 2:30 in the morning, and I can't watch them because I sleep.
Right, there is a thing called sleep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Most of us don't know what that is. But
and a good point that you mentioned, the late night ones, they'll put a lot of effort into the opening theme and the closing theme, and that can sometimes be a good 20% of the whole episode, those two combined, and that's a ridiculous length.
I learned recently, and I had no idea, and forgive me for being ignorant about this, but I had no idea that Japanese shows change their theme song based on, every season. Or even sometimes twice in a season, they'll change, the theme song to the show. And the only reason I know that is because I heard the My Little Pony theme song for season 2 and was like, this is amazing. But it's not season 1.
Not season 2. No, season 2 hasn't premiered in Japan yet.
Oh, it hasn't not. Okay, what is it?
As of recording this right now, Tokyo has seen the Grand Galloping Gala. I don't get to see it until actually 18 hours from right now. 18 hours from now, 6 a.m. tomorrow. The Grand Galloping Gala will air in Osaka.
So what?
Tuesday,
what is that?
Next Tuesday will be the beginning of season 2. Well, it's a mid-season theme song replacement. The first 13 episodes were a song, and then the second 13 episodes are a song. I fully expect a third theme song to start up next week.
Oh, I can't wait. Now I'm excited.
Yeah.
Like, these songs are so great, and it's like, okay, yeah, okay. So why does Osaka get it later?
Tokyo Television is the one that purchased the rights to show the show.
Okay.
So they're making darn sure that they are the first ones to show it.
I don't blame them. Fair enough.
So Tokyo Television, and yeah, absolutely. Tokyo Television shows it on Tuesday morning, and then other areas' television networks will show it like a day later or a few days later, and Osaka has decided for Saturday morning.
Gotcha.
So it makes sense. I can believe that. And why do they do it? Well, right now on the My Little Pony Japan shop, you can purchase the CDs of either theme song.
Yeah. Is it just a theme song?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Just the theme song.
I've never understood why they do that.
Well, it's the theme song, or you can get a little bit more and get the DVD/theme song, which is audio CD and DVD video.
I wish they would release the music here in the stateside.
Yeah.
You know, I'll take the theme song.
No, I mean not the Daniel Ingram stuff. None of that.
No, I know yeah.
No, I wish they would release that as well. I would purchase this.
Absolutely. Wow, that's crazy.
That seems like a no-brainer. I'm not sure why they haven't released that.
Copyright? They're not musicians. Somebody had mentioned it. I think it was Daniel Ingram said it at some point. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I might be going crazy and imagine that, but I know that at some point they were like, well, you know, there's copyright reasons and whatnot. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do hope at some point, I know that the Season 1 and Season 2 DVDs have come out for the show. I hope they release the Japanese version on DVD. I really do, because some of them are really good.
Yeah. I don't know what they're saying, but yeah, they're cool. I mean, I do know what they're saying,
right?
Considering the translation, but yeah. Cool? Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, but Disney is one of your big drives, we should say. You do have a podcast, right?
Yeah, so I co-run. I've sort of backed down a little bit from doing it just because I'm doing so much other things.
Okay.
But I do. About 6.5 years ago, I started a show with a buddy of mine, and it evolved. It's called, I don't know if you want me to plug it, but
sure.
It's WDW News Today. So, and ironically, there's a lot of crossover between the Disney and Pony fandom.
Okay.
Which was like, I was surprised at first, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not really surprised when you think about it. Animation, music, it's all there. So, so we started it, 6.5 years ago. That was my first step into podcasting. Okay. So I've been doing podcasting now for a good 9-10 years.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we started it up. It started as a little thing here and there, and now it's grown to over 60 staff members that work on the site. All volunteer, all around the world. We have people in Anaheim, California. We have people in Orlando. We have people in Paris. We have people in Hong Kong, Tokyo.
Nice.
It started as a Walt Disney World site. It evolved into a Disney Worlds site. So it covers all the different worlds of Disney.
Gotcha.
And so it's been great. The podcast has been great. And I mean, we've been super popular. And it's just fun, getting invited to all these media events. That's really the fun part.
Sure.
Disney treats we are their voice, and so we are the people who will say yay or nay to something.
Nice.
And so we get, getting invited to these events and being able to just go to Disney and get the special treatment, I guess you could say. It's pretty cool. That being said, that's not the reason I do it. I do it because I enjoy it, I love it, and I want to share this with other people.
Sure.
that was like sort of the main factors. Like I want to, just have fun with this, and that's why. And 6.5 years we've been doing it. We don't really make money off of it. Most of the money from sponsors goes back to running the website because it costs money to maintain a site.
Sure.
Servers and all that. And that's fine. I'm not mad that I don't make any money because I like doing it. I love it, and it's not work. The second it starts becoming work, then you need to reevaluate yourself and go, well, now I'm doing my normal job, and now this is taking up a lot of work.
Yeah.
Do I want to continue to do this? Do I have to put all this stress on myself?
Right.
But it hasn't been that, and that's what I love about it, and I love it, and I really do. And it's just, there's something magical about Disney, no pun intended, that is just great.
Well, I think a point, when you're speaking of the work item, I think I wouldn't use the word work, but I would say that when you're doing something and it starts becoming a chore, as in something that you don't want to do anymore, that's when you need to stop doing it.
Right, that's when you need to reevaluate, and when we get down later on to EFN related stuff, I'll tell you a little bit more about that because that's a big key factor.
Oh yeah.
But it's a key factor in everything I do. It's just and that's perfect. I never thought of that, but when it starts becoming a chore, because it's always going to be work. Yeah, I mean, you have to work. It's work that you're putting in effort. But as soon as it becomes a chore, then at that point you need to reevaluate it and go, okay, clearly this is not working. Let me see what I can do.
I have been asked by some of the people that I'm around what it is that I do, and the best description I can come up with is, well, this is a professional hobby of mine.
Yeah.
I put a lot of work into it. I put a lot of work into it, and I don't get money from it. And anybody who says that I get money from this, no.
Yeah, right? We do it for fun. We do it because we want to.
It's a labor of love, and it's a professional hobby for us. And once it starts, if there reaches a point where I just dread doing this, and another week, then I would stop doing it.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yep. It's just like working at a job and getting bored of it. If it becomes one of those jobs where it's just not fun anymore, like my thing was always, if I'm working, I want to enjoy what I'm doing, clearly. Because if I have to wake up day in, day out and go to my job, and I don't enjoy it, God help me, because, I don't know what I'll do. So this sort of becomes the same thing. My old job, I got really tired of it. I was like, you know what, it's time for something new. And I went. I reached out and found something new to do. Now, clearly, that's not always an option for everybody.
Exactly. Yeah, there are times where you have to work because you need to make money and you have to live.
Exactly.
Of course.
Exactly. And of course, that will always triumph that. And there's always.
I can tell you from a psychology background, if you are getting money to do something, you will enjoy it less. This is absolutely true. This has been shown in quite a few psychology studies. If you're being given money to do something, you will enjoy it less than you would if you were just doing it on volunteer basis.
The irony.
Sometimes it's necessary.
Yeah. And that's weird when you think about it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
The difference that I make between my current job and my previous job is I wake up and I get up and I take a shower and I have breakfast. My old job, I would wake up and sit in bed and just, all right, time to get up.
I know how you feel.
Yeah, I don't, with my current job, I don't hate waking up. I would prefer to sleep, granted. I like sleeping. But
we can't always do that.
It isn't a feeling of I wake up and my entire spirit just goes, another day of working there.
Right, of course.
It's work, and it's got easy days and tough days, but I don't dread getting up anymore. And I'm very happy about that. I feel very lucky about that.
That's good.
Yeah. But the Disney podcast, that's not the only podcast that you're doing. You have another site podcast, right?
I do, yeah. So when I stepped down from doing like with WDW News Today, what I do more now is just cover the site and run technical because I have a technical background with web design and all that. So I do that. I take care of that stuff. I take care of the back end stuff.
Okay.
So I decided to start up a new project. I had one of my ex-coworkers approach me and said, I want to start a gaming site. And I said, well, there's like 8 million of them out there. So
Yeah.
what is going to make your site different than all those others?
Mm.
And that got him thinking. And so one day, he approached me with an idea, and I was like, I like this idea.
Mm.
And he's like, well, I just need someone to help me because I don't know how to do any of this.
Right.
And you have the background and the experience. I'm like, done deal, I'll help you. So we launched a site called A Wild Podcast Appears.
Okay.
It is a take on Pokemon, clearly, for anybody who's a gamer. And it was a gaming technology entertainment site.
Okay.
With a podcast.
Gotcha.
So we launched it. We launched it back in March 2012.
Okay.
And needless to say, it started out very slow. As most things do. You don't expect you to pick up overnight.
Right.
About 10 months in, we decided to kick it up a notch and turned our podcast, which was at the time bi-weekly, we turned it weekly.
Okay.
Because there was enough information going around that I was like, well, we should probably release a show weekly. Like, why not? Like, there's enough to talk about. Look at all the stories that are being posted on the site. Traffic was starting to kick up, so we need to do something about it. So we did it. We became a weekly show. We sat down and said, listen, we all work different schedules, but we need to come up with a time that we can all get together. Yeah. And we did. And things started to get more organized, and it was great. Mm-hmm. And so we've now been running, for a year and 6 months. We're approaching our 50th show.
Nice.
Which we're doing some really cool stuff with that. And we've become a network. We are no longer just one website and one podcast. We became the AWPA network, which is an acronym, AWPA, A Wild Podcast Appears, with our show. And then we picked up another technology podcast called Geek.io. They are now part of our network.
Okay.
They had a huge following, so it was great to bring them on board and sort of merge the two communities. We also picked up a retro gaming site called Retro Collective. They're big on Instagram. They have over 15,000 followers on Instagram. Wow. So we brought them on board, and the guy who runs it became our head PR person for the site.
Oh, okay.
And it all just sort of put itself in place and worked out so well. And we're growing. We have some fun projects in the works. We actually are going to be sponsoring a comic book convention that's coming to South Florida next year.
Nice.
We got approached and was like, hey, we want you to cover it. And we're like, cool. So we're doing that. And there's a couple of other projects in the works, and we're really excited for it. We're working on a cool gaming radio station.
Now, I'm sorry, I have to ask real fast. The con that you're sponsoring, it's a comic book centered con, you said?
Comic book video games convention, yeah.
Comic book video games. Okay. Considering that there are pony comic books, is there going to be any pony involved?
So,
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. I'm working on it. There's a group down here called Bronies of South Florida.
Okay.
And they usually host meetups and stuff at different conventions. So I'm working with them to try to see if we can get in there. I talked to the guys running the con and said, listen, like, if you don't have ponies, I can't do this. And they were like, dude, we no problem. So I'm trying to work with, see what we can get done with that.
Okay.
There's no yes and there's no because it's so early on.
Sure.
You know?
But there is a possibility, which is a lot more than a lot of places will give you. Okay.
Correct. And the great thing about it is that it's not a pony convention because those don't always work.
Right.
This is a more broader. His idea, the guys running the convention were sort of like, listen, New York has New York Comic Con, San Diego has San Diego Comic Con. We don't have anything down here in the Southeast.
True.
There really isn't anything. Tampa has one, but that's really small. Mm-hmm. So let's do something big. People come to Miami for vacation all the time, and it's going to take place around February, so it's right around, a good time period where the weather is not too hot.
Yes.
So it's nice, that doesn't happen here often. There's like 1 week a year you can do that. So, and you know what? And so it was sort of like, let's see what we can do. And it's been it's been great so far. And I'm excited to get more information so I can share it in the future.
Do we have a name for it yet?
Actually, there is a name for it.
Okay.
It is called WAP. W-A-P.
WAP.
WAP Coco.
Sorry. WAP Coco?
WAP Coco, like Comic-Con.
Okay.
But the WAP is like sort of, you know, when you read a comic book, you see like the whap, like somebody got punched in the face.
Sure, the visual onomatopoeia. Right.
Correct. So the logo is really cool because it reflects that. And the idea was stay away from that whole insert city name Comic-Con.
Gotcha.
Because everybody does that. We didn't want to do Miami Comic-Con because that sounds boring. So they decided to go with something else, and it worked out that our network is called APA, AWPA, and their con is called WAP.
So WAPA.
Yeah.
WAP.
It's great.
Okay. Sorry.
No, it's cool. It's fun.
Okay.
They're gonna love it, by the way, and I'm talking about this because I haven't even said anything on my show yet. So it's been really. There's still so much unknown,
right.
But we do know what's happening. We do know what's going to be, and we do know we're going to be part of it. So that much I can say as to who's coming. They're talking to some big,
sure.
Yeah, they're talking to some big comic book guys.
Okay.
Maybe some people from Marvel. Who knows? Anyways, to get them down here.
Right. Okay.
So
awesome.
more information later on once we get it.
So something to watch out for at the very least.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh. And in addition to those, you know, slight hobbies that take up a little bit of
slightly,
time.
Nothing at all. Literally like minutes.
Yeah. Just like you wake up and you can do that as you're brushing your teeth, no problem. But
right.
Also, you're involved in the new EFN news.
Yeah. So I just want to point out that I don't know why. No, I'm kidding. I like, the great thing is like, when Final Draft interviewed me, he's like, you're doing all this. Are you sure you're gonna have time? I'm like, oh yeah, all the time in the world. I don't have time. But it's okay because I enjoy doing it all.
Sure.
And it's okay because my life revolves around all this, and it's great because these are things I enjoy. Yeah. But yeah. So, EFN News, which is Everfree's network's news division that launched back at BronyCon.
Right.
So, I'm the editor-in-chief. Now, that wasn't always the case.
Oh, all right.
I came in as an editor, and I want to share the story if you don't mind because it's great.
You can't. Yeah, okay. All right. Sure.
Darn. Well, I'll see you later. No. So the way that I came, because this is quite funny. So one day, like a long time ago, I had seen on my Twitter feed pop up that Final Draft they were looking for people for news.
Right.
And I made a note and it said, okay, I got to email them. I really am interested. And I forgot.
Oh. No.
It sort of just skipped my mind and I never made anything of it.
Right.
And that was it. For a few months, I was approached by various different podcasts through the Brony community asking if I was interested in becoming part of it. You know, a lot of these podcasts were tied into a lot of spaghetti drama.
I understand. Okay.
So I didn't feel comfortable just, throwing my name out there to anything. I'm not saying that by any means am I famous or anything like that, but I also want to keep my reputation clean.
Sure.
Just because I tie my name in with Disney, and I have a lot of executive people that follow me and all that, and so
of course.
I just gotta be careful to stay away from the drama.
Sure.
Ironically. So, we'll get there. So, then came, July, this past July, and I had made a post on AWPA about My Little Pony avatars that came to the Xbox 360. And I made a post about it. And one morning I wake up and I get an email saying that I was linked, like someone pinged my site from news.everfree.net. I'm like, what is this? So I go to the site and it doesn't exist. I'm like, oh yeah, this must be that new news site that's gonna launch. So I tweet, I received a ping back from at Everfree Network for My Little Pony Xbox 360 post at Final Draft.
Yeah.
He replies, what post was it for? I'm like, I just told you. But he's like, oh, cool, what's your website? My website is blah, blah. This is just a Twitter conversation.
Okay.
And, so I send him another message and I go, man, I was going to originally apply for your site a long time ago, but I completely forgot.
Right.
He goes, well, if you're still interested, when we come back from this was literally like a week before BronyCon. When we come back from BronyCon, you can contact Brick. Brick was the managing director for the news site at the time.
Right.
And you can contact him and we can see what we can do.
Yeah.
Literally no more than 30 minutes pass where I get another tweet saying, wait, you run this site? Like AWP? I go, yeah. drop me an email with like some writing samples. So I do, okay. So I do. Mm-hmm. Within an hour of that, he's like, let's get on Skype and have a chat. Get on Skype. Nice. Within an hour of that, I was hired to be an editor for Everfree News, a writer/editor.
Real fast, can I qualify the word hired just because that implies a money transaction, and I'm pretty sure that's not the case?
Yes, there's no money being made.
Okay, just brought on as, I would prefer.
Volunteered, brought on, sure.
Okay.
I know, the term hired just embedded in my head.
I understand.
Yeah.
Just
I
know there are some people who will be looking for how much money do you get? No money.
Yeah.
No money.
No, there's absolutely no money involved, and I've made that pretty clear.
Yeah.
When we recruit writers and stuff, because we do this for fun. Mm-hmm. We do it for the ponies, you guys. Remember that. We forget that too often. Mm-hmm. Let's just remember that. So we chatted, and I was brought on as an editor, mm-hmm. and whatever. I came on, I went on as an editor, we wrote, the site launched, at BronyCon. Mm-hmm. About 2 weeks after BronyCon ended, Blue Ink, that's her name, she was the editor-in-chief at the time, approached me and said, a conversation was had, and she was like, I'm making you the co-editor-in-chief. I'm like, what? I was just hired like 3 weeks ago. I'm like, yeah, but you know what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool, I guess. What does that mean? Just keep doing what you're doing. Okay. Excellent. So I became co-editor-in-chief. 48 hours do not pass when I get a text message from Draft. Blue just quit.
What? Oh, wow.
I go, what do you mean she quit? She's like, yeah, she got a position at an actual company to become an editor.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, then of course, I don't blame her.
Yeah.
She's like, well, you're becoming editor-in-chief. And I go, what? He's like, yeah, well, you know what you're doing. There's nobody else that knows what they're doing. You've run the site. You know what you're doing. So do you want to do it? I'm like, of course. Mm-hmm. Not another 24 hours passed that he texts me again. Dude, what? Brick quit as managing director of the news site. Huh. And I go, what do you mean he quit? He goes, he got hired. His life got really busy with work and all that. Yeah. And just couldn't dedicate the time that he thought he could.
I am going to say real fast, I am very happy that so many people got job opportunities in such a short time. That's wonderful.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, oh my goodness.
Right. Like everything, like I just remember Draft calling me and he was like, I don't know what to do. Everything's falling apart. I'm like, blah, nothing is falling apart. What do you want me to do? He's like, well, you're the only one who knows how to do anything. I'm like, well, okay, that's not true, but okay. He's like, no, I need you to run the site. I go, he's like, I trust you. Uh-huh. He's like, well, that's a big deal.
Yep.
Considering everything, and for the short period of time I've been known, that's a big deal. Yep. So he's like, I want you to take over the news site, run it. I'm like, I'm on it. So, that's how I came on board and I became editor-in-chief. Much, that has now been about 3.5 weeks since that took place.
Okay.
And, I've revamped the whole site, all of the staff. I redid a lot of things. We relaunched internally, and we just hired 4 new writers, and nice. we're reaching 30 volunteers.
Okay.
Make sure I word that correctly.
Thank you.
30 contributors to the site.
Okay.
Writers, editors, and guest contributors, people who would just occasionally send something our way.
Sure.
And I could not be more excited about the plans and the opportunities that this site has to grow because, awesome. One thing that was made very clear is that this is part of the Everfree network, but we're our own identity. Yes, Draft runs the network, but for the sake of drama-free, I am the face of EFN News. He is not.
Okay. It's a very similar setup with my show. I mean,
correct.
Technically Draft is, the boss of the network, but my show is mine. Except for the title cards, I do every aspect of this show.
Correct. And that was like and I think the difference would be is like, this is titled Everfree News.
Okay.
So it's like an official, it is the official part, but regardless, Draft is still the boss, obviously, but it's great that a different face can be attached to Everfree Project, and if people have a problem, well, the problem isn't with me.
I just realized it. Oh my goodness. you are Tokyo Disneyland.
I am.
You are involved with the larger group, but you have your own independent identity.
Oh my God.
Face.
There you go.
You're Tokyo Disneyland.
I am Tokyo Disneyland, you guys. I am physically the theme park that I have not visited yet. That's great.
I'm going to avoid making fast pass jokes. Okay.
Okay, we're done. This show's over. Goodbye, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Okay.
Good night, everybody. No, but in reality, it's been awesome, and like I love it, and this is just getting started, and I have a great team behind me, and that's the important part.
That is, if you get good support, then there's no limit.
Yep,
it's wonderful. Nice. Well, a question that I ask in all of my interviews, in all of My Little Pony, what would you say is the one line or one scene that defines you as a brony?
Oh my God.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Okay. That defines me as a brony.
Yeah. It can also be just one line or one scene that specifically stands out to you as like, oh, this is me. This is totally me.
I think I'm gonna jump back, and I guess this is also the episode that really triggered my obsession.
Sure.
Which was Winter Wrap-Up.
All right.
And that's only because of my musical background and I love music so much.
Uh-huh.
So, but that was really the episode. But, the scene there where Twilight is, just wanting to help everybody.
Yeah.
But can't. She just keeps making it worse. And then at the end she realizes what, she, is actually useful. Like, what she's good for, I guess you could say.
Right.
That to me reflects a lot of me because for the longest time I was trying to figure out, where I fit in.
Uh-huh.
Whether it was here in this fandom or the Disney community.
Right.
For a long time I was like, what can I do? And then I found my my talents.
Right.
And I found that it was like I'm not a front of the camera type of guy. I am the behind the scenes guy. I'm that guy that people don't really pay attention to. And that's sort of what Twilight is. She is the one that's putting it all together in the background while everybody else does the work that she's a director.
Okay.
And I think I'm really good at managing others. And I think
okay.
putting into life perspective as well as the fandom, that to me reflects a lot.
Sure. I can see
I didn't think it was that easy to come up with that answer, but yeah, look at that. I had never really thought about it, and so,
good.
But yeah, that's great. Thank you for bringing that up.
Woohoo! Reaffirming. Woohoo! Well, I don't know if you've had a chance to, but have you heard any of the Japanese versions of the Pony songs?
I actually have. I have them all on iTunes, and I really do enjoy listening to them once in a while. Okay. They're uniquely different.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Similar, but different. And that's really cool. And that goes for like almost any language the songs are written in. But the Japanese versions are pretty cool.
I've been quite pleased with them so far. I was disappointed that Winter Wrap-Up and Art of the Dress were not dubbed into Japanese.
I know. You don't understand how excited I was because Winter Wrap-Up is my favorite song. Yeah. Like the whole 3 seasons. So I was really excited to hear it, and then the video played and it was in English. And I'm like, get out of here. No, get out.
Well, Grand Galloping Gala was on Tuesday, and I think you're going to be happy.
I already heard it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I haven't. I've been avoiding it specifically, but I did get something in. So, yeah, tomorrow morning I think I'm going to be singing along, and I'll be happy.
Have you've seen 3 seasons already, though, right?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, you're just now rewatching them in Japanese?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Once a week, and I'm so happy to be able to do so. I'm
doing the same thing with the leading up to season 4.
Sure.
I watch one episode every day. Like, I started, I don't know what, yeah. So it's been really cool, cause like, it'll add perfectly up to the last minute, and when we Magical Mystery Cure, and then, boom, season 4 next day. It'll be great.
I think it's good for people to rewatch the old seasons and kind of get, the feeling back. I really do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not sure I agree with the schedule. Just because, well, for example, this week we saw the Grand Galloping Gala in Japan, and next week Discord's coming. But in the actual show, there was a break there. It wasn't a huge break between season one, but there was a break, and that break was kind of necessary for you to mentally digest all the things that had happened, but it was fine. But for me, I hope it happens. I hope that right now Japan has only brought in season 1 and 2. I hope they bring in 3 and 4, but it hasn't been decided yet. But something that would happen is literally we would see Shining Armor and Cadence getting married and heading off on the best wedding ever. And then next week we would re-encounter them in the Crystal Empire.
Right.
And weird. That's wrong.
Yeah,
there needs to be a break there between when we saw them last, when we see them again.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I like that either.
Yeah, which is why I appreciate people watching the show again, but I think they should finish at least a week or 2 before season 4 premieres. Because just in case there's something that deletes directly from the coronation, I don't think it's going to be like next day.
Well, and you sort of get the feel through the animatic that was released that it won't be the day after.
Didn't see it, and I vehemently avoid spoilers of any type.
Fair enough. I didn't say anything.
I appreciate it. I'm aware.
So let me tell you what happened. So
I cannot tell you how many people on Twitter think it's funny to do that to me, and I cannot tell you how fast I block them.
I refuse to talk spoilers on Twitter just because I hate it when people do it to me. Mm-hmm. I will not be that person.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I'm very sensitive to it, though, and some people will say, oh, no spoilers, I'm just telling you the episode title. Well, the episode title is Too Many Pinkie Pies. Now I know the show's about Pinkie Pie. I know something happens to make more of Pinkie Pie. I'm intelligent enough to guess a story, which may or may not be true, granted, but how is that not a spoiler?
Right.
So I appreciate you not openly discussing. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to be continuing you tell me a spoiler, and I'm going to, if you mention a spoiler, I'll unfollow you. If you specifically tweet one to me, you're blocked. That's it.
Well, I promise that you won't see it from me, so you're good.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I was the same way I'm a huge Doctor Whovian fan. Again, same day as My Little Pony season 4 premieres is the 50th anniversary. So, the last episode I was out of town, so I didn't see it until a couple of days later.
Oh.
I blocked, I think, 15 people on Twitter. I unfollowed them just because they were tweeting it as and these were not, I expect that from the official Doctor Who account.
Sure.
But these are not official, these are just people. I'm like, guys, really? Mm-hmm. Guys, people haven't, I understand, if 3 months have now passed that the show premiered and you haven't seen it, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's literally the day after. Mm-hmm. Actually, it's the day it's happening. Can you chill for a minute and let me watch it? That's not fair. That's not cool for the rest of us.
Yep.
I get it. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, everybody, today we have been speaking with Kryptonlogic, who likes to put children in rockets. Thank you so much for coming by.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Be sure to check out Everfree News. In addition to the WDW podcast. In addition to the Wow Gaming site appears. In addition to the WAP Coco, which is coming up.
Yep.
Anything I forgot?
I'm everywhere. You can find me everywhere. I'm on any social network that you can think of.
Yes. Twitter. Tumblr?
I have a Tumblr.
Tumblr, okay. YouTube?
I have a YouTube.
Okay. MySpace?
Get out of here. I think I have one just because I get emails, but I don't think I ever use it. So
yeah. I'm the similar way about Facebook. I have a Facebook account specifically to vote for those things that require a Facebook account to vote for.
Right.
But it has no information about me, and I've got no friends on it, nothing. And I get these emails. Do you know this person and this person? No. You're missing on these important No.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Wonderful. No, go away.
I don't like Facebook. I only have it because of my website pages on there.
Right.
And that's about the extent of it. Honestly, if you want to follow me, Twitter is always the best option.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again so much for coming by.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Everyone, this has been Osaka Jack with Into the Spotlight on Everfree Network. We'll catch you next time.